Now, remember yesterday here, we were talking about, the correlation between economic growth and the sales of underwear in an index that Alan Greenspan followed called the Underwear Index. Well, while we talk about its impact on the economy, etc., let's talk about how the industry itself is doing. So we have a special discussion lined up for you. Dollar Industries is, joining us today. And along with that, it's Rupa as well. Both of them saw a fairly steady quarter this time around. Revenue contribution for both these companies from the modern trade and new channels remained, robust, whereas we did see from lows a big improvement in the EBITDA as well. But what's the way ahead? How's demand? We do have with us Vinod Kumar Gupta of Dollar Industries and Ramesh Agarwal of Rupa joining in as well. Thanks a lot, gentlemen, for joining in. Let's start this with Ramesh. The first quarter obviously saw some bit of improvement in demand, but the question is, how's the remainder of this year looking? And more so on the EBITDA margin front as well, because last couple of years you were in high teens, closer to 20%. Then you saw a big decline to low single digits, and thereafter you're closing in on that double digit mark. So in terms of growth this year and margins, what are your thoughts?
Growth this year has been primarily been driven by volume because there is a price resistance. So we anticipate and we are seeing a growth in the demand for athleisure, thermal and ladies wear segment. So there we see a very robust growth. And when you say about EBITDA margins, yes, you are right. The EBITDA margins from 20% it has gone down, but we hopefully will maintain the EBITDA margin in 2 digits, so between 10 and 11% for this year.
And what about you, sir? We have the management of Dollar Industries as well with us. Mr. Gupta?
Yeah, good morning. As regards the EBITDA margin you are speaking, we are trying to maintain in between 11 to 12% for the current fiscal year. It was down in the previous years for some other reasons because of the price adjustments and market going up and down. But now the market seems to be steady and flourishing. And in terms of demand, we understand that there is a consumption recovery both for innerwear and the outerwear. And this is quite visible also in the current market. Sentiments have also been boosted up by the sales kicking off through the quick commerce.
Okay. Gentlemen, more on the local market in just a bit, but I'm just wondering how both of you are looking at your big companies in your segments, right? And how you're looking at exports. I think, Mr. Agarwal, for you, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think exports are still in single digits in terms of total revenues. Dollar is also exporting to many countries and markets. So if you gentlemen could start by telling us what the percentage of exports is now, and then also describe to us the opportunity. I mean, we all know what's happening in our neighborhood, right? Bangladesh. Now, I'm guessing that there is some business to be sort of taken up from there. Tell us if that's possible, not possible, and whether Bangladesh and what's happening there, if that has any positive rub-off on your export opportunity. Mr. Gupta, if you could start, tell us exports as a percentage of revenue and what's the opportunity? What's the scale up?
If you look at the exports is, of course, we are not improving much in terms of exports. The total exports from our company side is hardly 4% of the total revenue. And we are struggling still in the market for getting a big jump. If you look at the Bangladesh is primarily into exports of outer garments. They are not into the inner garments. So whatever scene is there in the Bangladesh, that is not going to even create opportunity for us or not even create something negative for the Indian products into the exports. And
okay, fair enough.
Pardon?
No, I was asking, sir, because of, I mean, a lot of you folks are in the athleisure segment, right? Or outerwear as a category is something that most companies are also trying to now grow in because that's where the margins are as well. But yes, please do complete your point. What is the scale up in exports that you see at Dollar Industries? And then we'll get Mr. Agarwal's take.
Yeah, in terms of exports, of course, athleisure is a big market. But then right now, from our side, from Dollar point of view, we are struggling in the market in terms of getting cheap products coming from China and Bangladesh into the market. The price is a big factor there. We are still struggling and trying to sell athleisure into the market. But we are hopeful of maintaining 10 to 12% growth in terms of exports this year. And we are trying to also enter into deep of African markets where the Indian products are well accepted by the country.
Okay, got it. Mr. Agarwal, sir, same questions to you. The export opportunity that you see ahead.
Our base in export is very small compared to our turnover. It's around 4-5%. But we see a good traction because we are actively pursuing exports. And when you say about Bangladesh market, yes, it will take time. But yeah, we are getting some inquiries from organized players because Bangladesh supplies mostly to organized big names. So we have a factory ready and it's a fully compliant factory. And we see good inquiries and it will take time, yeah, but that opportunity is there. And apart from that, for our Rupa brand, which we are exporting, we see a good, the last 2 years were not so good, but this year we see a good traction and we hopefully will be able to grow at around 20% in exports, more than 20%.
You will grow about 20% in exports. You know, if I look at the construct of the industry, it's interesting from the listed end of things itself. If you club the revenues of both Rupa and dollar, you get the revenues, the annual revenues of what Lux Industries posts. And if you club the revenues of Rupa, dollar and Lux, you get the annual revenues of what someone like a Page Industries posts as well. I wanted your thoughts on the construct of the industry right now. You know, we start with Mr. Gupta. How much is unorganized? How much is organized? At what rate are the two growing? And in the organized part itself, what's your share of revenue coming in from premium? How much is coming in from non-premium? Because at the premium end, there is a fair amount of competition as well, right? I mean, you have the ABFRL group, Van Heusen doing well. You have Page doing extremely well there as well, alongside competition coming in from newer players like Trent, etc. in the innerwear space too, and Arvind Fashions. So, if you could give us a little on the construct of the industry and how you see your growth out there.
Yeah, if you look at the, we are into three category of products, super premium, mid premium, and then the economy range. The economy range constitutes almost 48% of the total revenue, and the mid premium is around 41% of the total sales. So if you look at the structure of the organized versus the unorganized market, as far as the study goes, it is 1/3 for the organized sector and the 2/3 is for the unorganized sector. But then the way the industry is moving now, we are taking a big chunk of revenue out of the unorganized market into the organized market. That conversion is taking place, but then it is being converting at a very slow speed. It is not at a faster speed. But the way the modern retail, the way the e-commerce is taking into the market, we understand that the share of the organized sector will keep on increasing over the taking share from the unorganized markets.
Right. Mr. Agarwal, would you have any sense of the market share for you, your peers, and how is that moving?
We are taking market share from both the upper segment and both the unorganized segment. We have brands in all the segments, like we have a economy brand, we have the mid-premium brand and the premium brand. So what we are in the sense like our mid-premium and economy are the share in the turnover is almost equal. So that advantage we have, and we see growth in both the segments. So that means we will be taking share from the unorganized market and as well as the larger players than us.
Where does the market share stand for you?
There is no data as such, but based on the turnover, I mean, it's very difficult to gauge. There is no data, there is no published data on that. So.
Okay. All right, gentlemen, so let's wind this down by getting individual sort of, outlook on your respective businesses as well. Both of you have reported margin expansion in the first quarter gone by. So, Mr. Gupta, if we could start with you, give us a sense of what we can expect in terms of top-line growth, because the first quarter, the top line was a little flat, though the margin improved, and you're saying that you're looking to hold margins at the current 11 to 12% trajectory. What about revenue growth this year, full year?
In terms of revenue growth, if you talk of both volume and value, we aspire to grow at a CAGR rate of 10 to 12% each year, and to reach the turnover of 2,000 crores by the end of March 26. And that's our target. And if you look at the figure of the previous year, 23-24, you will also see that we did a good jump in terms of both volume and value. And that pace we are going to maintain in the current financial year and the year to come.
And Mr. Agarwal, what's your volume growth target? Also, you mentioned that you're looking to grow margins to at least hit double digits this year on a full year basis, right?
Yeah.
Also, just the volume and top line projections, please.
See, there's a pressure on prices, as I said. So volume growth will be more than the value growth. So value growth we see to grow at around 15%, and volume would be higher, so maybe 18-19% volume growth.
Okay. All right, gentlemen, we will leave it there. Thank you very much for important insights into the innerwear and also the outerwear businesses that you are building up. Thanks for joining in. Good to know that. That's pretty interesting. That I think though it's a very small part of the business, but they're saying that some inquiries by larger organized players who are right now sourcing from Bangladesh, some of those inquiries are beginning to come to companies like Rupa. Rupa at least mentioned that they're getting some initial conversations going. But with that, let's get back to the market.